Welcome to Tech Cloud Solutions. This is AWS CLF-C02 Practice Questions Part 8. Let's jump straight into real exam-style questions so you can pass on the first attempt. Question 61. A big data analytics company is moving its IT infrastructure from an on-premises data center to AWS Cloud. The company has some server-bound software licenses that it wants to use on AWS. As a cloud practitioner, which of the following EC2 instance types would you recommend to the company? The options are A, reserved instance, B, dedicated host, C, dedicated instance, D, on-demand instance. This question tests your understanding of EC2 tenancy models and licensing requirements. The critical keyword is server-bound software licenses. These are licenses tied to physical hardware like sockets, cores, or physical servers, common with Microsoft, Oracle, and other enterprise software. The correct answer is B, dedicated host. Why option B is correct? Amazon EC2 dedicated hosts are specifically designed for server-bound software licenses that require BYOL, bring your own license. A dedicated host is a physical server fully dedicated for your use, giving you complete visibility of the number of sockets and physical cores supporting your instances. This visibility is critical because server-bound licenses from vendors like Microsoft, Oracle, SAP, and IBM are often tied to physical hardware attributes, per socket, per core, or per VM licensing. Dedicated hosts allow you to use your existing eligible software licenses that are bound to VMs, sockets, or physical cores, subject to your license terms. Why the others are wrong? Option A, reserved instance, is incorrect because reserved instances are a pricing model offering discounts for 1 or 3-year commitments. They don't provide the physical hardware visibility needed for server-bound licenses. Option C, dedicated instance, is incorrect because while dedicated instances run on hardware dedicated to a single customer, they don't provide visibility into the underlying physical server sockets and cores. You can't track the physical infrastructure needed for license compliance. Option D, on-demand instance, is incorrect because on-demand is a pricing model where instances run on shared hardware, multi-tenant, without any hardware visibility, making it impossible to track server-bound licenses. Quick takeaway. Memory tip. Dedicated host equals hardware visibility for licenses. When you see server-bound licenses, BYOL, per socket, or per core licensing, always choose dedicated host. Remember, dedicated host, see physical hardware, where, sockets, cores, dedicated instance, dedicated but no hardware visibility, reserved on demand, pricing models, not tenancy. Dedicated hosts are the only option that lets you prove license compliance to software vendors like Microsoft and Oracle by showing exactly what physical hardware your instances run on. If this video is helping you, support us by hitting the like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Question 62. A company runs an application on a fleet of EC2 instances. The company wants to automate the traditional maintenance job of running timely assessments and checking for OS vulnerabilities. As a cloud practitioner, which service will you suggest for this use case? The options are A, Amazon Inspector, B, Amazon Guard Duty, C, AWS Shield, D, Amazon Mashi. This question tests your knowledge of AWS security assessment services specifically designed for vulnerability detection. The keywords are automate, timely assessments, and OS vulnerabilities on EC2 instances. The correct answer is A, Amazon Inspector. Why option A is correct? Amazon Inspector is specifically designed for automated vulnerability management and security assessments of EC2 instances. Once enabled, Inspector automatically discovers all EC2 instances and immediately begins scanning them for software vulnerabilities, OS vulnerabilities, and unintended network exposure without manual scheduling. It continuously monitors for common vulnerabilities and exposures, CVEs, package vulnerabilities in operating systems and programming language dependencies, and automatically rescans when changes occur, like installing new software or when new CVEs are published. Why the others are wrong? Option B, Guard Duty, is incorrect because Guard Duty is a threat detection service that monitors for malicious activity, unauthorized behavior, and compromised credentials using machine learning. It doesn't scan for OS vulnerabilities or software patches. Option C, AWS Shield, is incorrect because Shield is a DDoS, distributed denial of service protection service, that safeguards applications from network and transport layer attacks. It has nothing to do with vulnerability assessments. Option D, Amazon Mashi, is incorrect because Macy is a data security service that uses machine learning to discover, classify, and protect sensitive data in S3 buckets. It doesn't assess EC2 instances for vulnerabilities. Quick takeaway. Memory tip. Inspector equals inspect EC2 for vulnerabilities. When you see vulnerability assessments, OS vulnerabilities, or security scanning for EC2, choose Amazon Inspector. Remember the security service roles. Inspector vulnerability scanning anning. Guard duty equals threat detection, shields DDoS protection. Masai equals data discovery classification. Inspector continuously scans with minimal performance impact and automatically closes findings when vulnerabilities are patched. To get the free PDF or mock test, comment PDF or mock or both. I will share the downloadable link within next 24 hours. Question 63. AWS Web Application Firewall WAF offers protection from common web exploits at which layer? The options are A, Layer 3, B, Layer 4 and 7, C, Layer 7, D, Layer 4. This question tests your understanding of the OSI Open Systems Interconnection model and where AWS WAF operates to protect web applications. Understanding the OSI layers helps you know which security tools protect against which types of attacks. The correct answer is C, Layer 7. Why option C is correct? AWS WAF operates exclusively at Layer 7, the application layer of the OSI model. Layer 7 is where HTTP and HTTPS web traffic occurs, and WAF specifically monitors and filters these web requests to protect against application-level attacks. WAF functions as a reverse proxy that inspects the actual content of web requests, examining URLs, query strings, headers, and request bodies for malicious patterns. It protects against common web exploits like SQL injection attacks, cross-site scripting, XSS, cross-site request forgery, CSRF, and other OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities that occur at the application layer. Why the others are wrong? Option A, Layer 3, is incorrect because Layer 3 is the network layer where IP routing happens. This is protected by network firewalls and security groups, not WAF. Option B, Layer 4 and 7, is incorrect because WAF only operates at Layer 7, not Layer 4. Layer 4 trails with TCP/UDP connections and is protected by different security mechanisms. Option D is incorrect because Layer 4 is the transport layer where TCP/UDP port filtering occurs. WAF doesn't operate here, which is why it can't be deployed on network load balancers. Quick takeaway, memory tip. WAF equals Web App Layer 7. WAF protects the application layer, Layer 7, where HTTP/HTTPS web traffic flows. Remember the OSI layer I layer security. Layer 3 equals network firewalls. Layer 4 equals transport, NLB, NACLs. Layer 7 equals application, WAF, ALB. Think WAF inspects web content like SQL injections and XSS attacks. That's Layer 7. Question 64. Which of the following S3 storage classes takes the most time to retrieve data, also known as first byte latency? The options are A, S3 Glacier Deep Archive, B, S3 Standard, C, S3 Glacier, D, S3 Intelligent Tiering. This question tests your knowledge of S3 storage class retrieval times and the trade-off between storage cost and data access speed. First byte latency refers to how long it takes from requesting data until you receive the first byte of that data. The correct answer is A, S3 Glacier Deep Archive. Why option A is correct? S3 Glacier Deep Archive has the longest retrieval time of all S3 storage classes, with data retrieval taking up to 12 hours. This is the slowest first byte latency available, designed for data that is very rarely accessed, typically once or twice a year. Glacier Deep Archive is AWS's lowest cost storage option, up to 95% savings compared to S3 Standard, serving as an ideal alternative to magnetic tape libraries for long-term archival and compliance data. Why the others are wrong? Option B, S3 Standard, is incorrect because S3 Standard provides millisecond latency access. It's the fastest storage class designed for frequently accessed data with low latency and high throughput performance. Option C, S3 Glacier, is incorrect because S3 Glacier Flexible Retrieval has configurable retrieval times ranging from minutes to hours, typically 3 to 5 hours for standard retrieval, which is significantly faster than Deep Archive's 12-hour retrieval time. Option D, S3 Intelligent Tiering, is incorrect because the frequent, infrequent, and archive instant access tiers all provide millisecond latency, the same low latency performance as S3 Standard. Quick takeaway, memory tip, Deep Archive equals deepest weight. S3 Glacier Deep Archive has the longest retrieval time, up to 12 hours, because it's the deepest, coldest storage. Remember the retrieval time hierarchy. S3 standard intelligent tiering equals milliseconds DSay. Glacier instant retrieval equals milliseconds. Glacier flexible retrieval equals minutes to hours. Glacier deep archive equals up to 12 hours. The deeper you go in cold storage, the longer the wait, but the bigger the cost savings. Question 65. Which of the following is an incorrect statement about scaling, a design principle of reliability pillar of the AWS well-architected framework? The options are A. Fault tolerance is achieved by horizontal scaling. B. Horizontal scaling implies you scale by adding more instances to your existing pool of resources. C. Vertical scaling implies you scale by adding more power, CPU, RAM, to your existing machine node. D. Fault tolerance is achieved by vertical scaling. This question is testing your understanding of horizontal versus vertical scaling and which one provides fault tolerance. The question asks for the incorrect statement, so you need to identify which statement is false. The correct answer is D. Fault tolerance is achieved by vertical scaling. Why option D is incorrect, and thus the right answer? Fault tolerance is not achieved through vertical scaling. Vertical scaling means increasing the size power of a single resource, upgrading from a T33.medium to a T3.2x large instance, which creates a single point of failure. If that one powerful machine fails, your entire application goes down. Vertical scaling improves performance and capacity, but does nothing for fault tolerance or high availability. In contrast, horizontal scaling achieves fault tolerance by distributing workload across multiple instances. If one instance fails, the remaining instances continue serving traffic, ensuring the workload remains operational. Why the others are correct statements? Option A is correct, because horizontal scaling does achieve fault tolerance by distributing workload across multiple resources, eliminating single points of failure. Option B is correct, because this is the accurate definition of horizontal scaling, adding more instances to handle increased load. Option C is correct, because this is the accurate definition of vertical scaling, upgrading the specifications of an existing machine. Quick takeaway. Memory tip. Horizontal equals high availability. Vertical equals no redundancy. Horizontal scaling provides fault tolerance through multiple instances, while vertical scaling creates a single powerful instance, single point of failure. Remember, horizontal equals scale out, more instances equals fault tolerant. Vertical equals scale up, bigger instance equals not fault tolerant. The reliability pillar emphasizes horizontal scaling with auto scaling across multiple availability zones for true resilience.